Hi everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Stamping. I'm so glad that you're here, and just make sure that you take a moment and say hello or a hi or whatever, something like that. So today is Monday, May the 5th, so it's an exciting day in the Stampin' Up! World. Well, it will be in a few hours. So in a few hours, exciting things are happening. But before I tell you about that, let me just introduce myself for those of you who are new. My name is Lillian, and I'm an independent pardon me, I got mixed up. My name is Lillian with Stamper's Niche, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Alberta, Canada. Today's date is May the 5th, 2025, and at the end of today, or 1 minute past midnight, you will be able to order from this catalog and all the other new things that are going to be happening. So I thought tonight would be a good time to just have a little sneak peek at some of the things that are found either in this catalog or the new online exclusives. And there are also going to be some new kits. So those of you who have your catalog, tell me something you're looking forward to that's found in this catalog. What's something in here that you're looking forward to? I know some of you as demonstrators, you already have been able to do a few things and get a few things from there. But I think most of you have seen the catalog if you're on anybody's mailing list. If you aren't and you would like a catalog and you live in Canada, just let me know and I will try to get one to you. I'm sure we can make that happen. Just trying to make sure things are all copacetic here. So the question is, what's one thing you're looking forward to that's found in this catalog? I absolutely love that catalog, and I can't wait to get some more things from it. I have a few things, but I can't wait to get some more things. And one of the things I am looking forward to are the end colors. So while you're jotting that down, some of the things that you're looking forward to, just a reminder, these two catalogs end at 11:59 tonight. So if there's something in there, you better take a quick look and get those fingers going, right? Okay, so let's take a look, first of all, at what I am using tonight. It is all part of a suite of products that is found actually in the online exclusives. I know that many of you have looked at what's in the catalog. Oh, Karen, I'm looking forward to those two things too. All of the two-tone paper and that I can't say the name of it, but that suite that's got all the blues and golds and whites in it. Yes, I'm looking forward to those big time. In fact, somebody was asking if I would be doing a two-tone paper share. So I'm thinking about that. So if you think you'd like to play with some of those two-tone papers and you'd be interested in a share, let me know. I'm just thinking about that and we might make it happen. So what we're going to work with tonight is the whole suite of products, which I would say the anchor of it is called the Impressions Abloom bundle. So we've got these lovely stamps, and I discovered that I'm actually a little low on flower stamps. So this was just fitting that bill. But what sold me were these dies. Now, ignore the little tape pieces here. But look at these wonderful ovals and all the detailing here. And the reason I have these taped together is I've been playing with them. And you can use them. Let me just take this apart. You can use them separately, or you can put this inside as you're die cutting, and it adds all those details. So let me share my get acquainted sheet with you. I'll share it in a moment, but you'll just see that it is pretty wonderful. So let me put that over there. Also in the suite is this lovely embossing folder. So it does flowers like almost a I guess, a bush of flowers across the bottom like that. So it's going to look like that, and we will use it tonight as well. So that is called the Pressed Flowers embossing folder, and it is actually one of the thin embossing folders. So I had to remember that it wasn't 3D and behave appropriately with it. Also in the suite of products come these labels, and I actually haven't even opened them up. So I don't know if they're stickers or not. So let's find out. Let's get this open. I know they punch out, and they've got the wonderful gold edgings, and I love the shapes. So let's just see here. Doesn't appear that they are stickers. They are, oh, look at this. This is neat. So when you punch them out, there's this as well. So each of them have the gold as well as this, so the gold frame, so you could either offset them or use them in a different way, or use them for two different purposes. So each of the shapes has those two layers. Plus they'd make great masks, wouldn't they? Ooh, I like that. I can see lots of uses for that. So that's also in the suite. Also in the suite is the Floral Impressions designer paper. And look at all the colors in here. We see lots of like strawberry slush, pretty and pink. We see in colors in here, playing nicely with all the other colors. So let's take a look at these right here. So gorgeous, gorgeous flowers. So whether you just cut a piece or did a card front. And then on the back, as always, we have the more neutral or generic design. So there we've got that. Oh, I love this. Love, love, love it. We've started hanging out in nurseries because, as you know, my husband is a gardener. He loves it, and it's just feasting the senses on all the things in the nurseries. And this, ooh, this is nice here. And look at that. We're actually using this tonight. So this side of it there, and then this reminds me a bit of sunflowers or gazanias or something like that. And then we've got that, and just so pretty, 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 like that. Oh, 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 I have torn my room apart looking for this. Oh, you don't know how happy this makes me. I have gone through the garbages. I've actually cleaned areas that haven't been cleaned in years looking for this. I knew it would show up. I didn't know it would show up live on camera, but anyway, my evening has been made. And then there's this gorgeous paper here and this. So that is the paper in the suite. There are also some gems, some embellishments, and they were supposed to arrive tonight, but they haven't arrived yet. So here's hoping they will arrive soon. But you just never know when that driver is going to show up. So let's take a look at my Get Acquainted sheet. What I absolutely, well, I love everything about this die set, but there are two ovals. So one oval cuts out this, so it's a little bit smaller, but it also cuts this trim out. And then this oval, maybe I've got it backwards. One of the, yeah, these two go together. This will then can layer on top of here or just layer on a card. And then there's this label here. And then you can see that some of the dies match the, yeah, that's happened to you too, Linda. Well, did you find it on camera? I think I'm actually so happy that I've done a little cleaning as well. But oh, I was sweating it. My husband said to me, we were out for a walk today, and he said, well, why don't you buy another one? And I said, well, it's the whole set, and I've only used it 2 times. So I tore apart a card just to make tonight's And now I don't have to anymore. Anyway, my little side trip. So you can see that not only does it cut the outline, but when you put that insert in, you get all these details, which are just gorgeous. And then you've got these, and look at the leaves here. And then there's some more flower shapes that you can layer or use as is. Then there are these. And then the circles, let me just bring in the one that I just found. You have the circle that's individual, but again, just like the flowers, if you layer them, you will get a circle with detail in them. So we've got that, and these leaves are dies, but these work the same way, where you can put the insert in, and then there's little groupings of little flowers. So just a fabulous set of dies. I just can't believe what all you can do with that. And of course, you know, you can always use these circles for little eyes, eyeballs, and that kind of thing. We're going to use this and some of these tonight. So let's put that aside. And just before we get started, I am just starting to release my new designer paper share. So I've called it the new release. So you have options in this paper share to have paper share that just have the annual catalog, and the online releases, or one or the other, or whatever. So take a moment to pop on over to there and check it out, and see if there's an option that works for you. So there's something that's happening, and I will put that to the side, and we're going to get started with tonight's card. So for tonight's card, we're going to start with a card base that's 5.5 by 8.5. So it's half a sheet of cardstock. It's scored in the middle at 4 1/4. So it's your basic card front. We're going to just fold it right now and use our bone folder and burnish that fold. And we've got our card front made, and now we're going to put that to the side. We'll come back to that in a little bit. Then we have some Pool Party that is 4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to be using that in a minute. Then we have 2 pieces of basic white that are 3 3/4 by 5. So we're going to use those, and they're both going to go on the front. That's not for the inside. And then we will, I actually zoomed in a little too far, and I'm having trouble getting back out. And then a piece of this designer paper here, we're using the Pool Party side, that is, oh, what is it here? It is 3.5 by 4.5. So 3.5 by 4.5. All the measurements will be in the tutorial in my Thursday's newsletter, pardon me. So we're going to start by taking these. Then we're going to use some scraps and bits and pieces, but we're going to take these, and what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and we're going to put one of our pieces of paper down here, and we're going to bring in the dies, which I've just buried. And we're going to bring in the one that doesn't have the stitch lines. This one has the stitch lines. This one does not. So we're going to put that on there like that. So this one is just a smidge smaller. I'm going to use just some tacky tape. You can use a Post-it note, anything that's going to be removable. And then we'll put this on top and run it through. And this is sort of like, I don't know if many of you have the modern oval punch, but this shape reminds me of that. So it's an oval, but it's got sort of fat and rounded, right? So now we've got that. We're going to keep that and this. Oh, I needed, and put that back with that. And then we're going to bring in this one, and on the other sheet, we're going to run it through like that. And to save a little bit of time, I've already done that. So we ended up with this. Let me just slide this out of the way. So we have a little bit smaller oval, and then we have this here. So we're going to keep all of those pieces, and we're actually going to bring our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine back in and do a little embossing just before we go any farther. So because that embossing folder is a thin one, we're going to take our level 2 out and go like this. Bring in our embossing folder, and the one that what did I just do here? Yeah, this one here, we're going to put in here and just add a little bit of embossing. You can see, I think that it's just going to emboss here. It's not going to go up to the top. So we'll put that in like that, fold first, put another clear plate on top, make sure everything's lined up so it's not going to catch on the edges, and run it through. And just like that, we have that little bit of detail. So it's plain on top, but it's got this detail on the bottom. And I love that effect. So we've got that. And what we're going to do now is we are going to take this and put some adhesive on the back. And I'm going to do this and just, I've put some of the multi-purpose liquid glue in a little fine dispenser here, and I'm going to just add a little bit, and I can let it set up. And set up means let it dry, partially dry, then it doesn't ooze so much if I do that. And I like to do that on skinny little pieces like that. So we've got that ready. And what we're going to do with this now is bring in this pool party, and we're going to put it over top, but we want it on dimensionals. So I'm going to put dimensionals on the back, and I'll put some in the corners. Now these regular dimensionals are a little bit too big for the sides, but we have many dimensionals, and you can always cut your dimensionals down the center too. That works just fine. But we've got these, so why not use them, right? I got so excited about my die there, I forgot to notice what you were all looking forward to from the catalog. I am looking forward to the new in colors too. At first I thought, oh, they're okay. And then as I started to play with them, I have fallen in love with them. I've also seen them in a lot of places. In fact, I was watching a program on TV tonight while we were eating supper, and I noticed that one lady was wearing, she was wearing Secret Sea and Cloud Cover out as an outfit, and another person was wearing Darling Duckling, and I thought, oh, I can tell that I've got hooked on the new in colors when I'm starting to identify the colors like that. So now what I have done is just added this designer paper with dimensionals. So we've got that dimension there. Now I'm going to bring in this oval, and I'm going to layer it over the opening. And it is, the inside of it is the same size as the opening, because we use this, the smaller oval to cut the opening, and then we cut this one out of scrap paper. So I'm not using this scrap. I'll use that on another card. So now we have it looking like that. It's a neat effect, isn't it? So because this is a bit sticky here already, I'm going to put it on the card front. I'm still keeping these ovals. So this is already on dimensional. So all I'm going to do is put some glue here and stick it to the card. It's got lots of dimension right there. And just, I'm going to center it. Whoops, helps if I put it on right way up. Getting so flustered here. I think we've all made upside down cards once in a while, haven't we? Yeah, I'm sure. So now we're going to, what I did is the smallest circle here, I cut some flowers out of it. So just pretend that I did that on camera. And we're going to bring those flowers in. And we're going to just add a little bit of color to them. So I've got some of the other things cut out too. We're going to bring in some Daffodil Delight and a blending brush. This is one of the small blending brushes, but you could use either or, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to do it on here and start in the center. And I'm not going all the way out. I'm just making a nice dark center, having it blended out a little bit like that. And now I've got two of them. It's a little lopsided, but it doesn't matter. By the time it's done, it will be all fine. So we've got that done. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring in this stem. I really love this stem. And we're going to fasten a flower, a daisy, I guess, to the top of each of those. And I'm just going to use a little dab of glue. We're going to be putting dimensionals on them afterwards. So I just need something to hold them together while we're working with them. And, oh, we will put you there. Whoops, I think I want to put you on first. And then you. Like that. Don't they look good already? We haven't even got the leaves or anything else. We'll flip that over and add some dimensionals. Here and here. And that will help hold them together as well. So what these are going to do is just, we're going to tuck the stem in here and have them go about like that. So let's plan our card out. And these are going to go, oh, maybe about like that. And this, so they're just being tucked into the edge. So that's looking pretty good to me. I think I'll stick the flowers down first and go from there. Now, we could do these in all different colors. If you like Gerber daisies, these would make fabulous ones, I think. Just go and check through some floral displays or the greenhouse, and you'll be good to go. Are you liking this? I see some of you are saying that you're liking it. I really am enjoying this a lot. There, we've got that one there. And we'll add this. So I'm just putting some glue. You have to be a little bit careful because all of these etching things are holes. So your glue will come through, but I'm just keeping it low down, and so I think it'll be just fine. I'd like you to angle over just a little bit more. There we go. So we've got it that far. Now we have our centers. Yay, 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 yay. And I'm going to I cut those out of Daffodil Delight, and we're going to just pop those into the center. Whoops, like that. And because I stole them off of another card, they already have Wink of Stella on them, but let's pretend they don't, and we'll add a little bit more. So we've got it like that. So we're getting pretty close. Isn't that pretty? Ooh, I love it. Okay, so this oval that we've got left, you can use it on another project, but you can also use it to on the inside of your card, like that. And I thought that would be just kind of fun to do. So let's bring in the leaf stamp and some old olive ink. And I don't want it full strength. I want it a little softer. So I'll stamp it off once and then like that. And these are like distinctive stamps. I don't know if you can see, but there's light and dark. And how these stamps actually work. Let me just show you. Where did I put the stamp set? Here it is, right here. They're also two-step. So you can do this in a lighter color and this over top dark. Same with these, they're two-step. So you have the option, or you can use them on their own. So perfect. There's just so much you can do with this set. It's fabulous. So we've got that done. Move that out of the way. And we'll just, I'm just going to add it with a bit because I don't know what greeting I want on the inside. So I'm just going to put a little bit so I can pop it off to stamp if I want. And there we go. So that's how we've done the inside. Now we need to do the words. So what I chose to use one of the dies from the twisted note or textured note dies. So I am using this one right here as a label. And then I've got some more new stamps to share with you. So there are two new stamps that are word stamps. And you know me, I'm a sucker for word stamps. So there's sentimental framing and the right words. And so I looked at them and I thought, what do I want to do? So I went with the safe one, the thinking of you. But look at sending good vibes, you're so kind. There are words for the inside. There's your happy birthday. This thinking of you I've used a lot already. But we'll use, whoops, I've already got it mounted here. So we've got thinking of you, and I used Pool Party ink. And there we have it all stamped, just like that. So we've got that, and it's going to go, right about here. Then I thought, well, what do I have? And I remembered then that I have this Baker's Twine 3-color pack, and it's still current. This is Lemon Lolly, so it's a little bit light, but it still works in my books anyway. So we're going to tie a big loopy bow. Maybe we'll tie a loopy bow here. There we go. And it's going to go behind. I'm just looking and checking the size out. Bring in my ribbon scissors. And it's going to go right about there. So we'll just add a little daub of glue. We could use a glue dot too. Whatever's handy. Stick it down. And then we're going to bring this in. And because this is already on dimensionals, but this is not, we are going to put a little bit of glue behind here and some dimensionals behind here. So a little bit of glue here. And a dimensional here. I think that will be good because we've got that ribbon, that twine there too. So need to work around both of those. I think I want it just a smidge higher. Just like that. And then, of course, we have to add an embellishment, right? And we've got these cute little bee trinkets, which are still available. They are carried forward. I'm going to put just a dab of glue up here. Bring in my Take Your Pick tool and pick up one of those little bees and rest him right there. I'll wipe off that excess glue once it's dry. And there you have it. There is our first card using the Impressions Abloom. So what do you think? Are you thinking that that might be a good bundle for you? Or you're thinking, oh, I'm not so sure, but you never know, or what? I've got a few more samples, of course, to show you. So these ones tonight are not all the same style. Usually I show you the same style, but tonight I have some that use this, this bundle. So let's clear this away. Have to wind this back up. I always cut notches here so I can put my thread there and it doesn't come untangled. So we've got that. And let's look at some of the other cards. Now, many of these I have received in swaps, so I have not made them myself. So this one that I'm showing you now was a swap I received from Sherry, or no, I copied. She inspired me from Sherry Roth. This one here is from Karina Chin. It's a swap, so she's used this paper here. So somebody said, let me see. Somebody says, I haven't really looked at this bundle. Well, I'm glad I could introduce it to you. So you can see she's done the embossing here, that embossing folder, and then it opens like that. So this is a belly band, and this is some new ribbon as well. So here, I'll just rest it for now. So here is one that I made. I was inspired by another demonstrator. I just used the leaves. So those of you who know me know I love my leaves. So I just used the leaves, but this is the paper that we used tonight, and then this is the back side of it. And then this is another piece. So 3 different shapes from the textured notes, or 4. Here's the 4th one. And the same treatment with the twine underneath there. So there's that one. And here's one. I'm just starting to play with this shape, and I really, really like that. So just playing with that. This is another new word set, and you'll be seeing me using that lots more. And here's one of the tiny flowers from that. And then Karen Yeoman's in Maryland's, so Karen and Marilyn are both on here tonight. Marilyn has Zoom with Friends on Friday afternoons, and Karen Yeoman's taught a neat fold class, and I decided to try it. I wasn't there, but I tried it afterwards. But I've used the paper and that, and then I used the modern oval punch because it still went with that kind of thing. But look at this fold. So reach out to Marilyn and Karen if you want to know how to make that fold. It's just so much fun. And then I saw a lady demo using, again, this bundle of products. And because I was missing the centers, I resorted to pearls. She did it all in white. She did white on white. It was absolutely stunning. But I decided to do it white on Secret Sea, but then with just a little bit of white there. So basically you just cut out a whole bunch and just start to scatter them, and they turn out beautifully. So this is a slimline card. That's another idea. So you can tell that I've had a little bit of playtime, not a lot, but I've concentrated on this because I didn't get very much in my pre-order. But let me know what you think. And do you have a favorite card that I've showed tonight? I can see this card made with this die and done a little bit differently too. So just some ideas here. Let me just spread them out again. So thank you for joining me. Happy shopping in the next few days. And do remember that I have a designer paper share happening. I have other projects I will be sharing. So I hope you're excited about all the new things coming. It's just like Christmas, right? And I definitely will be putting an order in tomorrow. So happy shopping, happy creating, and thanks for joining me tonight. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.